It was actually a little bit of a high pass filter on the entire mix. This rolls off the low end, and I rolled off everything below 25 hertz. You don't need that low stuff in most genres, and this cleans up some of the low end, even though you can't hear it.
Hey, shout out to Graham Cochran from the Recording Revolution. I was just searching waves, like I told you guys from a vlog like maybe 2 months ago, them plugins coming for your pockets. Got an email from Waves about their specials that they got going on, whatever. That's almost like every day. But I went to the website and saw a video just talking about mixing with plugins, and it was going over the mix bus processing, and just so happens it was Graham doing the video on the Waves website. So I remember watching Graham when, you know, it was early. You know, I started watching him about three and a half years ago, and just to see how much he's progressed in that time is crazy, super inspiring. I don't know if you'll ever watch this video, Graham, but shout out to you. Such an inspiration for real. So makes me want to keep grinding for sure. But yeah, that was pretty crazy to see him on the Waves site. So I'm starting to mix, and I wanted to show you guys what I do whenever I first receive a session from an artist, especially if it's a Pro Tools session and they send me the whole, you know, Pro Tools folder over. Me personally, I like to work in my own template, whether I'm creating that template from scratch on that particular mix, or let's say it's a vocals to 2-track mix like this. You guys know I have my own vocals to 2-track template, Pro Tools template. So there's no plugins on this template, but it's already routed to the workflow that I like to work. So instead of, you know, just go ahead and mixing in this session, which would take me longer, either, you know, rerouting this session or trying to figure out how the engineer who recorded this and did the rough mix, instead of trying to figure out how they like to work and working in their space, I like to just export all of the files and move them over to my preferred workflow. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. The first thing that I do, and this is also important for artists who are trying to send their sessions to engineers, I always try to explain how to export your files from the beginning of the song. So that way, whenever I drag and drop those files into a session, they're lined up and I don't have to play freaking Tetris or, you know, trying to put together a puzzle, you know, figuring out where the vocals go. So this is what I do. I like to select everything, and then I hit Shift Option 3. That's a shortcut for Pro Tools. I don't know what it is in any other DAW, but in Pro Tools, that's a shortcut that makes your tracks the full length of the section that you highlighted. So now, as you can see, all of these tracks start from 0. So whenever I export them into my template, they will all be lined up. The next thing that I do is go through, and instead of soloing each track and bouncing it one by one, I actually just go through and rename the file. So for example, I could put J for Jordan intro, and I could put J intro 2, and just keep going. For example, on this lead verse, put J verse. The reason why I'm putting J at the beginning for Jordan is so that way in the audio files folder, all of these tracks will be right next to each other. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to skip through so you guys don't have to watch me rename all of these, but I'm going to rename all of these and then I'll show you guys how I grabbed them out of the audio files folder. All right, so once I get my template opened up, what I do is search for that session that was sent to me. So I go into the audio files folder and then I just grab all of the tracks that I renamed. What I like to do is in Pro Tools, I'll actually go down to the bottom and drop these files into that gray area. And what that does for me is it keeps the name of those files. It actually titles the track the name of those files. So it makes it easy so that way I don't have to go back and rename those files. I like for my tracks to be labeled just because I don't want to have to search for tracks while I'm mixing or think about that. I just want to clearly see what it is and work. So once that happens, what I'll do is on my template, the only plugin that I have on the inserts is the VMR, and I just have the VCC from Slate, which is an analog console emulation plugin. So I'll just go ahead, drag and drop that down onto my tracks, so on and so forth. These tracks that I won't be using, that, you know, if I was recording someone, you know, these tracks, I have them active so that way, you know, while I'm tracking, I can just drag and drop. Like, let's say they're recording the lead verse, I'll just drag that and drop it onto the lead box, so on and so forth. But since this is a session that I received, I'm not going to use these tracks, so I just right click and then hit hide and make inactive. So I'm just dealing with the tracks from that particular session. And let me drag in the beat. And now I can get to work. Now I can rearrange these the way I want them. Everything is, my effects and all of my routing is already set up, and I can just work as normal. So, you know, this is what speeds up my workflow. I do think that there is a way that you can actually import your template into a session. That may be faster, and if someone knows how to do that, definitely let me know in the comments. I think I used to remember how to do that, and I know it's just a Google search away, but this is just what I do. But yeah, that's just something weird that I do. I don't know if everyone does this, but I just wanted to show you guys what I do whenever I receive a session and how I get to work.
Yeah. They say here she go again, I'm on the straight flow. Laced up, no pay less for BOGO. Mommy's loco, only clown is bozo. Driving me crazy, she still mommy though. Still learning that this industry wide dominant. And these lyrics trying to catch problem kids. Typical lyrical straight flow, I bring the heat. Dumb it down for your clowns, no repeats. Automatic flow, I trigger the beat, swag.
So it is a really, really good thing that I was home and I was working. I was in the studio, and because Q, that's the girl that I just recorded, that was her first time working with me, and she booked that session like a month ago, I swear, and I totally forgot about it. For some reason, it wasn't on my calendar. I have no idea why, but yeah, it's a good thing that I was home working. I didn't have another session booked at that time. I was just working on a mix, thankfully. So I was able to get that knocked out, because that would have been her first impression of me and I wasn't home, or I had another session booked. Plus she drove from out of town. That would have been bad. So yeah, that all worked out. And she was dope. I guess what she's gonna do is drop videos on Facebook, I guess, of her just spitting on industry beats, and she's gonna just drop random videos over a certain period of time, which is gonna lead up to the drop of her mixtape. So yeah, so that's what she was recording today, and I believe she liked the quality, so we'll be getting it back in sometime soon. But right now I am going to meet up with some of my fellow trainers, and we're all about to go eat real quick, and then yeah.
Oh, I forgot something in the garage.
I know I look crazy right now, but I'm super bundled up. It's 33 degrees, and it's raining. It's only getting colder outside. This rain is probably going to turn into freezing rain. So yeah, I gotta, as my stepdad says, it's too cool to be acting cool. I gotta be right. We're about to go to Sierra's little sister's basketball game, and then Sierra's co-workers are having a little Christmas party, so I'm gonna go to that for a little bit, get home and rest up, gym in the morning, and then studio session all day, starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow. So yeah, it's only 5:30 right now. I hate when it starts getting dark outside because it feels way later. It's ice cold.